Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Five Digits European Cup 2026. It is the second round of the Swiss stage, and today we got a pretty interesting matchup in our hands. It is going to be Russian Federation Seed 1 versus Kazakhstan Seed 9. And today in the commentary booth, we have me, Philoxen, and I'm also joined by the lovely Helba. Hello, how are you doing, man?
Hey man, what's up, man? I'm very excited for this one. A little battle of the East here, Russia, Kazakhstan. Russia, of course, our number one seed. Their first week finalized that sweep, got three number ones. So a force to be reckoned with if you're Kazakhstan. But if there's anyone for the job, I feel like they've got some chops so long as we're still on these early stage pools. Try to avoid that second sweep from Russia. But into the ban phase we go now, and if I'm Kazakhstan, I assume we just get rid of reading early.
Ooh, I mean, for Kazakhstan, just based off their previous performance, they did ban Hard Rock 1, and overall, Hard Rock 1 is kind of the weaker skill sets that they have. In qualifiers, they got 16 on it, and same goes for Noma too. I would say in the previous match, they usually pick those tapping and hidden maps, but Italy got a lot of break points on those Kazakh picks. So, in my opinion, they should change their strategy just a tiny bit because it was pretty close. You should definitely check out the Italy versus Kazakhstan match. It was 5-4, and at the end, Poisonous just took the matter in his own hands in the tiebreaker and pulled out a crazy 700k score performance. But yeah, they should learn from their past mistakes. So I would assume that, based off Russia banning Nomad 4, you could go for Nomad 4 pick maybe sometime in the future. But right as of right now, I would just ban something that Russia picked first in their first match against Switzerland, which they swept successfully, which was gimmicks and tapping. And primarily, I would definitely go for that gimmick option, maybe hidden too, maybe get rid of it because, mind you, in the previous matchup, Kazakhstan. In the previous matchup, Russia, they got top 1 on HD2 and they did not even have Sound Boomer, which was their strongest hidden player.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing for Kazakhstan going into this matchup because the skill sets between these teams are so aligned that this ban phase is like, or rather, when we get to the pick phase, like you have to pick into stuff that at least statistically, like you have to either pick into the unknown or pick stuff that you see number ones and number threes on all across the stat sheet. And Russia has the burden of information in this matchup where Kazakhstan is kind of playing in the dark because Russia swept their last match. They only have 5 maps to work with where they actually know what Russia is getting close to these scores. So pretty interesting. And we do see that Nomad 3 ban come through. I'm unsure which team it is for because we are missing a chat at the moment, but Nomad 3 banned by Red Team Russia.
Yeah, Russia banning a Russian song, which is quite ironic, but I could see the reasoning behind it. I mean, Kazakhstan, they were pretty close in terms of seeding to Russia on this exact number 3 in Swiss Stage 1, so yeah, just decided to avoid that RNG option for Kazakhstan potentially. Maybe Kazakhstan could go and try picking DT3 later on, just based on that ban from Russia, since it's another form of alt that you have on DT3, which is El Mismo Sol. You love the copyright songs in the pool. I believe we did get like one bot completely silenced because of that, but
For
that's besides
DT3?
the point. Yes.
Ref, let's switch it to Nightcore next time. We we can save the day. We can fix this.
Exactly. Oh,
And wow, a Nomad 2 ban to come through for Team Kazakhstan. Again, we're talking about these aligned skill sets. Russia, not a team that really plays into aim too often, but tapping is very strong for them. Get rid of that Nomad 2. That was a nearly 4-way FC in their previous matchup, if not a 4-way FC. Uh, Phenomenal score from them. Very scary. Just ban something that Russia is incredibly confident in.
No, yeah, for sure, Papa. I mean, the lowest score which they had in Namusu was 950K, which is insane. It was almost 4 million on a normal map, so yeah, yeah, really good. Also understandable for Kazakhstan because Kazakhstan themselves they did not really perform that great. So Nomad Fiverr was just about to say, but it seems like a pick, very interesting. It is your another tapping map at 245 BPM by Kiara. It tests your raw speed, tests stamina just a bit, and you know, based of what I'm seeing, Kazakhstan last time they got two strong performances on it. It was Imochka Pro and also Poisonous. One of them FC, the other one got 700k, and then the support scores were actually not that strong. So it could be a coin flip if you ask me. I believe if the stream is not lying, that is Kazakhstan's pick, so it'll be really interesting to watch, but we're already seeing the Russian forces arriving into the lobby.
Yeah, very curious stuff with regards to Snow Mod 5. I mean, we've seen in previous matches throughout last weekend and at the start of this one, the spacing in this map is nearly non-existent. This is raw tapping to the extreme at this SR. So you are going into this maybe expecting a little bit of shenanigans, especially from our lower teams here, or even with regards to like just trying to combo game, right? Like you said, an underperformance last time. They were 7th overall. Again, this is a map Russia didn't play last time out. So Kazakhstan looking to get a little bit of shenanigans going early on, picking straight into the speed after taking out the more consistent option in that Nomad 2.
For sure, very interested about it. Kahami, one of the core tapping players, so of course you would expect them to join up. Same for Image Upper Tight as well for this support. And expecting either, of course, or Poisonous, and there is Poisonous. And of course, looking for Russia, you know, look out. Left rooted to the 8 now are then Baby are their core players. They're insane at tapping. And also, I'm seeing Boriska, which is quite interesting because Boriska usually plays those DT. He's a DT specialist. But right now, he is in for Nomad 5, which, you know, maybe it means that they maybe missing some player, maybe one or two. So it could be very good for Kazakhstan, or it could be just a roster experiment right here. But we shall wait and see. The guns of the story are gonna get paired up against the dark horse of the last year Kazakhstan, and we shall wait and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, and actually having a look through at their performance last time out, it was a 2.7 million team score for Kazakhstan, but all of them were S ranks. So you're these buzz sliders at the tail end. There you can see Emoshka Pro finding that first break there on those buzz sliders, and it is incredibly tricky to hold throughout this map with these roster changes. Actually, lowest AC on the lobby for Emochka on the first map here. So a little bit getting rid of those extra nerves. 60k already early for the Russia side though, and you're hoping for a miracle with regards to some of these early breaks. Accuracy's looking solid.
For Sherman, but speaking in before, usually where all those breaks are, they happen at the end of the map, which is the most intense tapping moment, tapping section. Here we are
Ooh.
entering the second one. Left of it is gonna actually be Venture Breaking. It is not a real miss, but that one from Tide might have been real. And if so, it is not looking great. This not gonna leave the greatest taste on their tongue. It's 4-2. The baby is going down, but it's still 3 versus 2, however.
Yeah, and like I was mentioning before with the spacing in this map, if you aren't as comfortable on the tapping, you can find these like overstreams, or not even overstreams. You just tap a little bit early on the burst, which is what makes the buzz sliders so devastating. Borska actually finding an under aim there for the first break on the Russia side, but already a 300k deficit in what is turning to be a bit of a disaster for Kazakhstan. There's still some comeback potential at this tail end. Actually, Wavely finding that break as well, so the combo advantage Kazakhstan with Emochka Pro's recovery combo, but they may need one more FC to fall from Meows or Lafruited for this to go back to their side.
And here we are, the final frontier tide is going down, but still I believe the combo
Oh,
advantage is a bit to the side of Team Kazakhstan. And that last 7 section is gonna matter the most. Their matter is in their own hands, and they just need one more
oh,
break from Russia, and they will have it. Here we are, but so far everyone is staying unfazed, but nothing is moving. In fact, Russia nowhere seem to be breaking, and they are just taking that break point right off the bat. That is really crazy from them.
yeah, 3.2 million for Russia on that early break point at the tail end there. It seemed as though Tate was fully just like out of stamina, like having a really hard time keeping up after the beginning tapping section. So, unfortunately, not able to bolster that recovery score, and Russia getting that first break point down. That's not the
Don't
end of
worry,
the
don't
match.
worry. It's we just needed to fix some stuff. So yeah, you can enjoy the kitty for a bit. But overall, Kazakhstan definitely improved their score from last week, but it was not quite enough for Russia. And yeah, 1-0, maybe other tapping maps is not the best option for Kazakhstan to go for just based off that defeat. And for Russia, yeah, it opens up a lot of tapping opportunity, but regardless, I do not think this is something they will go for. Uh, yeah, I would say if they got Sound Boomer, they can definitely try and abuse it AEG2. Because once again, Kazakhstan, they got around seed 11 or seed 12 in qualifiers, AEG2. There was not that much of an incredible performance, so might be the way for Russia, especially considering they have probably the best gimmick players. It's not only Sound Boomer, it's also those guys like Rage and Bashi. They of course have violence, and to top it off, you have either Frinden or the Fury. Like, all these players, they're just extremely competitive when it comes to those tournaments, and they have a ton of experience behind their backs.
Yeah, lots of hidden comfort on the Russia side. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of that throughout all the World Cups. I've been seeing a lot of hidden players pop up in 4WC, an example being like Shadever and things like that. But actually, I hear some tech in my ears right now. I'm unsure if it's
Oh,
HR1 or Nomad 4 yet. Probably Nomad 4, I think, if I'm recognizing the song.
probably quick glance at the racket, and it is Nomad 4. But this is really interesting. Russia banned Nomad 4 last time, and now they are the ones that are actually first picking. Is their first big the map that they banned last time. This time reverse psychology type shit. And yeah, you just have to see that. That is quite intimidating. Like, I probably do not see the strategy of Kazakhstan thinking like, oh, they will probably pick number 4, because no, obviously if you look at them, they banned it last time, so there is no point for them to pick it, but they're actually catching Kazakhstan off guard by that one. So that's gonna be some psychological warfare going on here, but regardless, I I want to see. Oh yeah, here we are. Here we are with the transition. I was getting worried for a second, but yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be another tournament classic here with Inner Circle mapped by Vox. Top diff of this I've seen in a handful of early 4-digit stage tournaments, but you're gonna see your classics here. It's gonna be Wavewy, Lafruit staying on board, but Raging Dashi hopping in the lobby, and that's a name you gotta be a little fearful of. And Russia, I mean, as you mentioned, this was banned last time out, but actually, with regards to that, I am unsure if they should have picked it so early, because there's pretty high potential that Kazakhstan even picks this as the match goes on, which, if they were planning on picking it, probably could have seen what Kazakhstan does. But in we go. Gonna be your pretty standard slider tech map with that Air 9.1 density, adding a little wrinkle to it. 4 minutes of this.
Jump, you put it very well. And here we are. I mean, you see Poisonous, you see Kahami, and those two, especially Poisonous, we all know what this guy did on the tiebreaker, which was quite techy. So this map should be bread and butter for him. So if they want a breakpoint, this is one of the best opportunities for them. Still, you're going up against, the Titan. They even though banned number four last time, they still get top one qualifiers on the number four slot. So it basically yeah leaves you thinking that well Russia was maybe goofing around in that previous matchup with that number four ban because well to say the very least they are not feeling difficult on when I'm playing this number four.
Yeah, and there goes that first break on the Kaz side for on that cut double pattern. Hahami actually to follow it up, following a little bit behind on these kick sliders. And I mean, as the higher seed, Russia is looking to pick into these consistency maps. We saw what they were able to do on that Nomad 2, and I mean, in accordance to this pool, the only thing similar to it is this map and that free mod 1, which they also top scored last weekend. So it's these consistency maps in early stages where you're just looking for some of the lower seeded teams to find the hiccups that you are not, and the accuracy overall looking phenomenal thus far. A 98 average on the Russia side versus a 97.3-ish on the Kaz side. A little bit of comeback in the do, already 100k deficit at the halfway point.
Yeah, Russia is going flawless and fearless, especially that slow section gonna give them a really good halfway point advantage. Imrishka and Poisonous, of course, they both are the carries of the team. Poisonous getting top 1 in S1 stats and Imrishka placing at the 6th placement. They both are just the last lines of defense for the Kazakhstan roster. And even if they hold up, it's still gonna be hella tough for them to get that point back, to get a score advantage. And yet here we are, the slow section is slowly ending and we are just awaiting at least any breaks from either of the sides.
Yeah, if you're Kazakhstan at this point, 170k is the difference. You need 2 breaks, whether or not it's that recovery from Wavely or an FC. 2 people need to fall on the Russia side for this to go back to their side. There's enough combo density at the tail end of this map with these flow streams to make it happen, but none of the players are finding the breaks, and especially not when it's Poisonous to drop the FC. Mochka Pro running a solo ship at this point, and Wavely to drop, but there's still 3 men on the other army holding strong here in Russia, looking to consolidate that first break point in style on a map that they banned previously, showing that you have to work hard to find some weaknesses in their game.
No, yeah, definitely. They're rewriting what dominant looks like in real time right now. They're basically devouring Team Kazakhstan at the moment. Of course, they get pairing with that nice recovery, but okay, before I spoke, there was 3 FCs going on. Left did choking the map at the end, but still, that leaves you with a massive advantage of 600k Frin and Rage and Dashi, showing us the masterclass. Fantastic performance from our Federation once more, and that is a very solid start from them.
Just to put that into perspective at the tail end with all the FCs falling, that was a 3v4. Uh, they did not need Wavewade to get that point. That was really strong first pick from Russia, just perhaps scouting out a weakness there on that No Mod 4. And especially with Kazakhstan banning the HR1 in previous matches, that feels like the next avenue for them to go. But for now, it's Kazakhstan's pick, and if you're Kazakhstan, you are a little unsure where to go because of both of these teams are just so confident on the hiddens. In my head, I'm thinking hidden 1, just because you're looking for some volatility in that snap aim, as well as it being a comfort pick. But again, you're still going against Russia. You just got to go for what's best for your team.
Yeah, and the thing is, Kazakhstan did pick HD1 last time. They did win it, but still, for example, they picked another hidden map, which was HD2, and they lost it to Italy. And overall, you are, oh, overall, I just was about to say that you tried a tapping map and you lost it. Probably not the best option to go for another one, but they are willing to, I would even say, gamble on this DT2, as this is the shortest map in the pool, and we saw many upsets on this one, Pablo.
Yeah, I am unsure what to think here. It seems like the game plan for Kazakhstan is just to pick into some of these more volatile maps, especially with how short this one is. It's the shortest map in the pool. it's just straight to 20 BPM stamina at this SR.
Yep.
But we saw on that Nomad 5 that they're a little bit fourth player. Tate was having a really hard time keeping up at the end, kind of ran out of stamina around the halfway point. And that's not to like fully trash him out here, but because of that, a pick like this really comes into question. I mean, it is shorter, so maybe he won't run out of stamina because it's like half the length. So if there's any
Probably.
saving grace, but it's still scary nonetheless.
Yeah. You know, based off their previous performance, they did win DT2, and like I'm not doubting their strength on DT2. You have Poisonous who FC the map. You also have Hani with an FC and Imushka with a very late Cho get an 800k, and then you have A Secret Cube with 500k. So you have a potential of 4-way FC in it, but still, if A Secret Cube is not here, it's gonna be bad for you. A Secret Cube luckily is here though. So if they manage to get the same roster, I do see the universe where they could win that against Russia. But once again, we're talking about the team that is potentially the strongest Happen team in the tournament overall.
Mhm. Yeah, but it does feel as though Russia's confidence is more aligned with flow aim, and this map does have more flow aim than that Nomad 5 did. The Nomad 5 just mostly in stacks and buzz sliders. This one a little bit flowier. You see this beginning slider just to get that cursor moving, but Russia, of course, was the top scorer on this map in their match last weekend as well, with a 3.2 million. So Kazakhstan looking for the improvements, looking to fix the chokes, and Secret Cube, hahaha, me on backup, should be a good recipe to try and make it happen for Kazakhstan.
Yeah, but here we are with the first intersection.
Oh,
Execute Cube with the first break already put in Kazakhstan in not a very much favorable position. The Russian Federation is gonna have some lag room, and you look at the score difference, the accuracy speaks volumes. It is 200k score difference already, and we're halfway through the map. But I do not want to take more time speaking about that because it's literally no drain.
yeah, it's already 400k difference because of this accuracy. 95s across the board, 91 on Emochka. The FC is not to come through, and that's still a four-way hold. And at the break, they are only 300k away from already exploding their score from last time out.
Oh, how about this? This score is just going beyond the threshold. I'm not gonna look at 1 million already. 1-6 left, and they are nailing that last tap-in section. It's just the slider, it's just the slow section. A four-way once again. First was Noma 2 in this and the S1 pool. Now it is the DT2 in this week's matchup. And what can you even do against that?
I well, I have an answer for you. Don't pick speed. Like that was crazy. They four-way FC'd after the writing was on the wall in the last one. That was a bit unfortunate for Kazakhstan. Poisonous, I mean, well, got the FC again. You have a consistent FC there, but just no backup there. And with the Nomad 2 ban, that's all the tapping pretty much exhausted from this pool, with the exception of Fremont 1. So, scary tides for Kazakhstan now in what they will pick next.
No, yeah, definitely that DT2 just ruined their hopes and dreams. It was like, the last resort for them, and yeah, you just cannot compete with Russia on those type of maps. You just found that out. Congratulations, and it's now Russia's turn to try and capitalize all the difference even more, and they have a whole lot of maps to pick. They have a full carte blanche right here, and honestly. Probably I will go for anything that is not DT1, since just a fun fact that Russia did not perform that great on DT1 in qualifiers. You can see tonight, so I would not risk it all, and yeah, instead they're going for Fremont 1, which they also picked last time.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked. It was a point I brought up earlier. They want long maps. They want Kazakhstan to take the time to find the hiccups. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan picking into these more volatile, shorter picks didn't go their way, but you see the game plans here. Russia just looking to stay consistent on these earlier stage pools, and this is as close as you're gonna get to that Nomad 2 that they top scored last time.
Indeed, indeed, and yeah, Russia. If I'm not wrong, they got the best performance in 3-1 as well, just based off the stats. For Kazakhstan, though, they lost it to Italy by a bit. I am seeing Offrain, though, during the lobby. Offrain was the one who actually FC'd the map last time. And of course, you have Poisonous, who played last time, as well as ATHR. So probably expecting at least Hard Rock, maybe Overmont, but if I were in their place, I would not go for it. Emoshka and of course as well being here, the core players. And for Russia, I'm afraid to announce Soundboomer is in. And last time Russia had like 3.6 million or 3.2 million without those massive easy multis. And you're seeing Soundboomer who was not there last time. And now he is. So, how about I am betting that Soundboomer will go easy HD. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised with an easy here. Just a lot of comfortability there. Especially with the malt being so high this week. 2.6 for easy hidden on this map. We may we may be seeing a score lead higher than that DT if they manage to find all their FCs. But Kazakhstan can't underestimate the importance of comfort mods on a free mod map. Emochka Pro, very confident on any mod you throw at him. I wouldn't be surprised if we changed scenes and he was having the Hin Hard Rock on right now. So, gonna be pretty exciting stuff to see all the players in, assuming there isn't any deflation there with regards to motivation. Of course, that last DT2 pick was pretty disastrous, but looking like a bit of a. Do you need 3 mods on them per team for free mod rules in this one?
Yeah, you do need 3 mods per team. So one either hard rock, the other one is gonna be either HD or easy, and the last one's gonna be force mod. So you need to have 3 mods, and yeah, all the teams met the criteria. Good job. And yeah, you have some boomer with easy. So yeah, the scoreline is not gonna be quite exact, quite precise here because it's gonna be multiplied by 2.4x at the end. Due to that. Easy is not going to give a massive advantage to Rush Federation just on paper. It's currently Kazakhstan in the lead, but those two breaks from Imoshka and Hami are not so great, and they're dropping first blood right now.
Yeah, looking pretty confident is Russia. A little bit of accuracy hiccups in the beginning, but of course the score lead, I believe it does not have that easy malt calced in, so we have to do a little bit of mental math here. And with that break from Ha 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 on the aim section there, is gonna be putting a little bit of an emphasis right before the break. And Kazakhstan having a really hard time with these breaks in the maps because they're just seeing where they're missing as soon as it happens and where Russia's holding these quad FCs. It's really scary stuff for your motivation as you continue on.
Yeah, that is not great. I mean, how about personally knowing some of the players in the Kazakh roster, they have really good team morale, but even that is not saving them from losing those points. And so far, it's looking really great for Russia once more for the 4th time already. Soundboomer just lost at Assas, and of course, all the other best, left with Raging, Dashi, and Frinden, with 99% accuracy, left with almost getting 99% accuracy, and that double break from Castle might be the nail in the coffin for that point. And you just hate to see that. With that, we're entering the other KI. We're 2/3 into the map. Poisonous finding that last break, the last combo, the last hope was completely broken, just completely crumbled apart. Left-rooted breaking as well, but who really cares about it? It doesn't even matter. You already have 500,000 score difference, and this is not even counting the easy multiplier of which sound we're having right now. It is just 1/100, I believe, from his part, so he's gonna get around 400k more score at the moment, which is already making it over 1 million.
Yeah, that is unreal here with over doubling up on that 1 million score lead. And again, another break from Emojka, who these players seem like they're a little bit deflated on the Kazakhstan side. It's been very similar rosters. You're going against the number one seed, back against the wall. It's tough. It's tough out here for them. But Russia showing why they are this number one seed. Sound Boomer closing out that 1x100 Easy FC. 3.2 million, make it 3.7 after conversion, and Russia brings it to match point.
No, yeah, Kazakhstan just cannot stop the bleeding, and Russia's blade is merciless today. There's nothing much you can do. Kazakhstan is picking that HD1, which is quite an ironic name. Helps and Dream is exactly what they need right now. Basically, the last attempt of Kazakhstan to stay in the game. Oh, the match score actually saying 4-0. Okay, never mind. All good now. And yeah, it is your awkward aim with cross screen jumps. And overall, the PPM is really comfortable. It's not that long on the drain, so it should not really mess up your nerves if you have any. Speaking of speaking of the Kazakhstan side, but should be pretty much chill. This map is actually one of the less popular maps. I believe, however, the only teams that played it was actually Kazakhstan and Italy last round. No one else played it, and Kazakhstan did pretty okay on the map, so it is reasonable. It seems to me though that they are still using the previous strategy, which they managed to lose some of their picks. So might not be the best way, but still they are desperate with this one. HD1, they won it last time, and they seem to be wanting to acquire that point on HD1 once more.
Yeah, and it feels like it's a little bit of a theme of this pool that the one slots are probably the more trickier per mod pool. Of course, this hidden one is significantly trickier and more snap aim heavy than the hidden two. The no mod one, another map that has hardly been seen. Hard Rock 1, hardest map in the pool. So again, Kazakhstan still just looking for these high volatility maps. Just try to see where Russia bleeds. Try and get them to miss at all. Again, this is another match where the average score for them has been around 3.5 million. So it's like, what can you do if you are Kazakhstan? I completely understand the struggles here.
Yeah, yeah, the last bastion that Kazakhstan had, they got 2.1 million team score on the map. No, nobody FC'd the map. Poisonous was the closest person to FC and getting 700k score, so probably all eyes on Poisonous trying to save the team, as well as, of course, Offrain and Parun finally showing up for, I believe, the first map into the match. And with that, we're gonna be starting off slowly. That slow section, but soon enough, we will see what this map actually has installed for us.
Yeah, these wide angle aim patterns, Air 9.4, somewhat comfy AR for the star rating. Surprisingly enough, not gonna be any Emochka Pro on this map. It's off rain and off course in the 1 and 2 slot. First break gonna go to off course with this map. Just under 3 minutes. Plenty of time to catch up in this early combo, but you just gotta hope Russia doesn't find another one of those four ways.
Yeah, that seems like the meta today. And overall, they're in a very strong state. Currently, I believe the team morale as well is not suffering by any means. The Venture is strong just a bit. But yeah, so far off rain, the consistency player of Team Kazakhstan is not having a hard time on the map, having an FC. But yeah, overall, I believe we're at the first Kia, and based off right now, it's Raging Dash with the break, traded by Offrain, and the others are actually having pretty much same distribution of combo across the board.
Yeah, and actually another FC falls. It's Frindin giving combo advantage to Kazakhstan. The hopes and dreams in question as we make it to these incredibly awkward aim patterns. And I mean, Kazakhstan, the score is trickling a little slower than they would like, but they do have this combo advantage. Frinden to find another break in this cross screen section. A third of the map remaining, 12k difference. Para finds the trade, and it's a little scary here. It may come down to accuracy and recovery combos, off raindrops now, and it's back to the Russia side.
Yeah, every node feels heavier now. But like the map itself knows what's at stake. But nobody is breaking poisons, and of course, the last hopes of Team Kazakhstan, they know what has to be done. We have entered the point of no return, and everything is still on the table for them. They just need to see one break from either Laferdit or Baby, and they will have that point on the board in their pocket. But will it happen or not is the question.
It's 130k now and just a handful of notes remaining. It may be too little too late with how vast this score lead has ran. It's Wavely to find the slider break, but there's just not enough time at this tail end. 200k difference off the back of this Raging Dashy recovery. And Russia confirmed their second sweep in 2 matches. The streak continues.
Yeah, no. This map was the storm, but all the Russian players, especially the Fruited, were the eye in it. And yeah, they will be the first team to actually finish off the second round of Swiss stage and secure that 2-0 group. And basically now they are one step away from finishing the Swiss stage. The next week is gonna be their last potential match in the Swiss stage, because if they get 3-0, if they get 3 wins, they will advance to the quarterfinals of the bracket stage. And yeah, that performance is just mind-blowing from them. It definitely lets you know that that first week performance was not a pop-off, and is literally just how stable Team Russia is. They proved us that they got the same consistency, got the same accuracy, got the same nerve control in this match around as well, and that is definitely a crazy potential. The team has a crazy potential. They got seed 1 last time, but got eliminated in either quarters or semis, and this time, they got seed 1 once again. They are on their redemption arc, trying not to fall into the same mistakes, and I'm really excited to see how this goes for them. And for Kazakhstan though, they will be entering the 1-1 group, and they will face someone else from from that group. But I think for Team Kazakhstan, they were the only team that got actually an upset in the first week against Team Italy. It was seed 8 versus seed 9, but still it is an upset. So they have those crazy carries. I think they have a chance of definitely getting out of that Swiss stage. What about you, Khabra?
Oh, for sure. They have plenty of chops to their name. They already have 1 win in the books. They just need to not let this loss deflate them at all. And yeah, I mean, Kazakhstan can come back. They probably make it out just fine. But speaking of teams that need to make it out, we do have a match ongoing on the A stream. Denmark versus Austria, 10 versus 15 seed. Scoreline currently 3-2, so looking a little closer than this event was. Before I let you guys go over there, though, we will be rating them, but be sure to support the 5EC with a donation. I believe there's banners being made for coffee donations, so feel free to support us that way for the prize pool. And we will be sending you off now for Denmark versus Austria.
Yeah, there we are. The raid has started. In 5 seconds, you will be sent right there. But for now, this has been a pleasure to commentate. In the commentary booth, you had me, Philoxen, and the lovely Haba, and as a streamer, you had Baz. So thank you all for watching. This has been your 5EC staff team signing off and commentating, covering the entire match today. Bye bye, everybody, and have a nice day. You are getting raided.
Bye bye.